Can you borrow a faith? Stick around. Let's find out. Live, trance, and prosper. Hi, I'm Dr. Brian David Phillips, and welcome to our rant or other session. This week I just want to talk about borrowing faith. Borrowing faith is a concept where one religion borrows practices, beliefs, and concepts from another. It's a little different than when one religion branches into separate religions, or a group splinters off from a main group, creating their own variation. Borrowing faiths is when a group actually borrows from another. Quite a number of Christian practices and beliefs are borrowed from other religions. For instance, we're celebrating Christmas this week, and where does Christmas come from? Well, it's the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ, of course, but no one knows exactly when Jesus was born, and they're not even sure if it was in the winter. So why do we celebrate it on December 25th? Well, because there were pre-Christian holidays in Northern Europe, Southern Europe too, Saturnalia of course, but there were pre-Christian holidays that celebrated around that time, and when Christianity moved into those areas, they thought, well, we're trying to rid the vestiges of the old religions, but folks are really sore to give up certain holidays, so they changed them. For instance, Saint Bridget used to be a goddess in Ireland. She was a fire goddess, Brigid, and she was changed into Saint Bridget. Easter, I mean, there's nothing about Easter and the crucifixion having to do with eggs or rabbits, and yet those traditions were borrowed. The Christmas tree and Santa Claus are borrowed from previous traditions, and so traditions can be borrowed. Sometimes a faith is borrowed. For instance, new religions created from an amalgamation of previous religions. Islam is heavily influenced by both Jewish and Christian beliefs, with a little bit of other things thrown in. I'm not meaning to demean anyone's faith if they come from a hybrid growth faith or simply a religion that evolves over time. Most do. Very few religions stay exactly the same over time. Faith can be borrowed, but what about at the individual level? Can an individual borrow faith? And so one day I practice this, and next day I do that, the next day kind of a buffet style religious practice? Yes, there are folks who do indeed do that, and those who follow the belief that religion itself is essentially a collection of mimetic beings, to them, then you can indeed follow that faith and borrow faiths in that way. Does it diminish the practice? Well, it really depends where your heart is as you do it. You have a pure heart, a pure soul, you're pretty much guaranteed to be guided in a direction appropriate for you. Maybe not always. Certainly there are some people who have some weird ideas, but for the most part. I hope that's been helpful. On Tuesdays, join us for church news and rants. Sometimes I rant. Wednesdays, I answer your questions, pastoral questions, and sometimes saving sessions. Thursdays are special. That's trance time. That's when I guide you through a genuine trance experience. Once a month, we have a major sermon or webinar in conjunction with my personal web pages and professional pages. You can always check our site for more information. Be sure to subscribe. You don't have to subscribe, but we do appreciate it whenever you subscribe. That way you get to know when we have a new video or other things that are happening. And be sure to check out the church site as well. But for now, this is Dr. Brian David Phillips saying, live, trance, and prosper. Bye-bye.